Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's Queen Season 1 Episode 5 entitled, Do Anything for Clout. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around. I have all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. A regal scene with royalty, only to have Lil Muffin arrive with a posh crew and swag. It's the video debut of Lil Muffin's song, I'm That Chick. The video shows disruption along with shifting and sniffing lines. There's a montage of shots of Lauren being released from rehab, Brianna moving on with family, Naomi, JoJo, and Eric spending quality time together, and Jill getting public attention. After the record label reviews the playback, they want to know, is Lil Muffin still that chick? Naomi is concerned that everything that's happening with Lauren may be moving just a little bit too quickly, but Eric assures that Lil Muffin has the power to move forward and to make the decisions with everything in her career. He's also excited that he's spending more time with JoJo. After the meeting, Lauren feels that she's in a good space. She wants to develop her own sense of normalcy and to distinguish that Lil Muffin and Lauren are two different personalities, two different people. Naomi tells the girls that she's worried about Lauren, and Jill brings along Alicia as an image consultant. Eric says that to keep the momentum of the new single, they must perform at the AMAs. Now their performance rehearsals must be perfected. Brianna and Alexis have the much needed conversation. The baby will be a sibling to Brianna's kids, and will she keep the baby? She wants to take time to think about it before making a final decision. Valeria wants a quick nip and tuck on her face because she's 40 and she's around black women who don't age. They tell her that it's not needed and she's beautiful just the way she is. Valeria tells them that, hey, I will not touch my face. I promise. Instead, Valeria gets butt shots. She just needs to rest, even though she can hardly stand up. Later that night, Valeria sees a person with a mask at her door while the alarm system is going off. Uh-oh. Valeria may have a stalker. Instead of being freaked out, Valeria is then flattered. Lauren tries to do some grocery shopping and it's all overwhelming. Even getting a deli order is weird. When she gets to the checkout line, she craves fan attention, but nobody recognizes her. The shopper grabs a magazine with Lil Muffin on the cover and says that they even forgot that she existed. They even thought at one point that she was on Doja's level, but now she's super chewy. Lauren is not only shocked that she wasn't bombarded by fans, but that no one cared for her artistry. JoJo and Eric try to spend some quality time with one another, and they both admit that it's a little weird, especially without Naomi. Some fans recognize Eric and request a photo. They claim that they're big fans of his mixtape Gutter Hole. Unfortunately, it's all a plot to snatch Eric's chain. Eric and JoJo try to catch up with the crooks, but they have no luck. JoJo thinks that they should just call the police, but Eric says it's hip-hop, no cops. He wants to track them down and get the chain back. It's the principle of being disrespected and snatching someone's chain. Eric also notices that the crooks were too young to know anything about his mixtape. Someone must have put them up to it, and he has an idea of who it might be. The ladies try to rehearse, but Brianna's mind is somewhere else, thinking about Alexis having the baby. Valeria can barely move her legs, and Jill is still nowhere to be found. Naomi notices how Eric and JoJo are hanging out more without her, and maybe she's getting a little jealous of their time spent together. She is still trying to get to know JoJo herself. Valeria reports the news of a stalker and thinks the first people to know should not be the cops, but the press. If they call the cops, the stalker will stop, and maybe that will stop the press coverage. Alicia shows up looking for Jill, but she's not there. She also notes that maybe Jill is late because an interview that she's scheduled for her might have went over. Alicia gloats about how Jill is blossoming, and it would be refreshing to see Jill and the queens at the AMAs. Alexis says that she can't be there for a baby because she doesn't have anyone else in her life. Plus, no one else knows that she's pregnant. She even asked Brianna to go with her to Planned Parenthood. It makes Brianna very uncomfortable, but she agrees to go with her so she won't be alone. Alicia and Jill pick out dresses for her solo performance at the AMA's pre-show party event. Jill wonders if she should tell the ladies, but Alicia says no. This move will be a good idea on your career behalf. There's only one problem. The purchase was declined. Darren has taken the recommendation of a lawyer and has frozen their accounts. Jill just wants him to move on, and dragging out the divorce won't help. Darren says that he'll sign the documentation, but will eventually learn to let her go. Eric thinks that someone who he had a beef with 20 years ago set up the chain snatching. Jadakiss denies setting up anything and tells him to press forward before other things get started. He doesn't need his chain and he has his own money. JoJo thinks that this event was cool. Not only is it Jadakiss, but the danger of it all was super exciting. Muffin asks some peers if she's fell off, and they're honest. Being away from the rap game 2 months in hip-hop in this day and age is actually forever. The last video flopped, and it's time that she vamped up her game. It's the evening of the AMAs, and the queens slayed the red carpet. And Muffin shows up with some very unique unicorn accessories on her forehead. The ladies are worried that Lauren has jumped back into her spotlight too quickly, but Jill says that it's just business. And Naomi reminds her that she said that Lauren is not just about business. Jill admits that she needs to talk with her, but as she's talking to Lauren, Lauren is very short and makes the conversation press forward. Just as Jill wants to get deeper into the conversation, she's pulled away by Alicia. Some other celebrities want to talk to her. Valeria wants to know if Brianna is really considering taking Alexis to Planned Parenthood. Brianna doesn't want to think about it and just wants to enjoy the drinks and the evening. Valeria is upset that the Stalker story is only getting minimal press. She needs to do something more shocking, like come out of another celebrity's home as if she's been creeping. The artist Fabio notices the ladies from afar, but instead of talking to Valeria, he's interested in Professor Sex. He's willing to fly her out and shopping and take her to Paris, and he doesn't mind that she has 5 children. To convince her even more, he places his number in her phone and leaves. The ladies are shocked about what they just saw, and Valeria says that if she doesn't call Fabio, she will. Naomi wants to know if Bri will have fun and live a little outside of the mommy mode. Now the question is, where's Jill? Alicia takes the stage and announces on the mic, thanking everyone for attending the Out Magazine pre-AMA party. Queens are scheduled to close out the show, but with their new hit single, the ladies want to give everyone a taste of what they'll see Sunday. Coming to the stage is Jill performing Nasty Girls with the Nasty Butches. Naomi, Valeria, and Bri are shocked and upset. Even Lil Muffin is confused. Alicia says that Jill is a star and it's insurance just in case there's another whole incident. Brianna later that night has her own plans. She may not have time to meet Fabio in Paris, but has enough time to teach him a lesson. Naomi wants to know what was the tea, but Bri says that after that night she just came straight home. JoJo sees something shocking on her phone and says that she needs to call her dad. And Naomi is shocked that she's called Eric dad. JoJo apologizes and says, Eric, I need to give Eric a call. Naomi vents that she's trying not to get jealous of their developing bond, but she can't help it. But Brianna enforces that JoJo calling Eric dad is a good thing. They're bonding. They just need to focus on Jill's performance and why it feels like the group is not as together as they should be. The performance at the AMAs needs to be perfected, and the situation with Alexis is scheduled for tomorrow. JoJo says that she's going to the movies with Eric, and Naomi says that it's okay because the ladies have rehearsal later anyway. JoJo shows Eric that there's been a new hashtag of Snatcher Chain Challenge, and it started not too long ago. People are going around snatching celebrity chains. JoJo suggests that they show the cops the footage and just get it all over with. He doesn't have to prove that he's tough. JoJo is just happy that they're finally spending some time together. Eric explains, though, that it's not just a chain. He got the chain after the group broke up and after Naomi left the group. He heard later then from a friend that Naomi was pregnant. He didn't know everything that he knows now, but it has symbolism. After that whole event, he just knew in his heart that him being with Naomi was over. They'll never be together. His plan was to give JoJo the chain at lunch. JoJo asks if it's okay if she can call him dad, and he says that it's perfectly cool. They spot the kids who took the chain, and JoJo says, "Let's get our chain back." Rehearsal is going great, and Valeria reports that there's no more signs of a stalker. Plus, Lauren's new unicorn piece took all the glory and all of the attention anyway. Besides, the little unicorn horn freaked her out. Besides, if they do a good job at the AMAs, there's enough shine to go around for everybody. The ladies applaud Valeria for changing the focus back to what's really important, the performance. Jill finally arrives, and they only have one more hour booked for the rehearsal studio. Jill says that her solo performance was good for her and the group, but Bri reminds Jill that she promised to be more involved, helping her with the kids and being around her so she won't be alone, so she won't have to think about her husband's death all the time. Jill says that now is her time to shine. Bri was famous for being Professor Sex. She was a sex symbol. Valeria was the Puerto Rican goddess, and Naomi was this genius and had a great lyrical mind. Now she has her hands on being who she wants to be. When she was a young girl, she wore stuff that she didn't want to wear and rapped about things that weren't her truth. Now she gets to be herself and getting the attention she deserves. It's a shame that the ladies are just jealous. Bri says that her behavior is just crazy, and if this is the real Jill, she wants no part of it. Jill makes her final statement and says that I mean what I'm about to say next. She doesn't need the group. Naomi tries to stop her on her way out and says that they don't want her to leave, but Bri says she's grown, remember? She can do what she wants to do. Let her leave. Lauren listens to the current music, and Valeria needs to make some slight changes to her vocal background tracks since Jill is acting weird. Jill is acting like the old Naomi, Bri is acting like the new Naomi, and Naomi and Valeria are caught in the middle like the old Jill. They're acting like the old nasty bees instead of queens. Valeria wants Lauren to know that, hey, I'm not going to scold you and give you this big speech. I just want you to be okay. Be cool with who you see in the mirror. Be comfortable with that identity. Muffin learns that her new TikToks are trending and she's back. She's invited to take some weed, but Lauren says that she needs to change for the complex photo shoot. Lauren looks in the mirror and evaluates herself. As she begins to change clothes, unfortunately, her horn attaches to her shirt and rips off the unicorn jewelry. She's screaming and in shock and bleeding profusely. Naomi listens to some new coverage about the anticipated AMA performance, and JoJo arrives. She's wearing the chain that got snatched. JoJo thanks her for just saying, "Thank you for letting me get to know Eric." And she tells Naomi, "Thank you. I love you, Mom." The statement brings Naomi to tears. While Valeria works out, she sees this strange car pull up, and she's flattered and getting herself ready in the mirror to be stalked. But the stalker has revealed themselves. It's a woman with flowers. And she apologizes for freaking her out the other night, but she's not a stalker. She says that she's Valeria's mom. Brianna waits for Alexis at Planned Parenthood, but she's nowhere to be found. Bri texts her over and over again, but there's no response. Bri then goes to look for Alexis at her home, but the roommate says that Bri is gone. She's not gone temporarily. She's taken all of her stuff and moved out. And it sucks because she owes her about $100. She didn't even tell anyone where she was going. Bri runs home and then runs into Jill leaving. But Bri tells her that, "I need you, Jill. I need you here with me." Plus, Alexis is gone, and she doesn't even know where she's going or what to do. There's a knock at the door, and it's Darren. He shows up and burns the divorce papers. He says that he'll never hurt her, but he'll never let her go. Val and Naomi arrive and see the flames. They don't want to know what's going on. Everyone is freaked out. Each lady has their own emotional traumas and events to deal with. They're overwhelmed, and all they can do is hold each other and cry. The following day, it's time for the AMA performance, and all they can do is their best and put all of their worries and concerns on the stage. And that is the end of the episode. And now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. Another interesting episode, and the storyline is building upon itself. Now, if you're new to the channel, I did say in previous reviews that the series writing is a development script, meaning that each storyline from the previous episode builds on top of one another. And we see more and more clues from the past that give us an idea of maybe what can build up in the future. So let's take a good look at this mask shooter, right? It's a long ongoing mystery that we've seen this series so far. So we're building more and more evidence, and we're building more and more of a storyline of who that masked gunman may be. I did say in previous reviews that I think the gunman is a female, just based upon the stance and the stature of the person that was holding the weapon, and the way that they were holding it, the way that they were standing. It kind of gives it away. Based on murder mysteries and a lot of shows, when someone holds a gun with two hands, majority of the time it's a woman. Not saying that a guy can't hold a weapon with two hands. It's just the way that they were holding it and the placement of the hips. I could be totally wrong, and it may just be something to just sway off the viewers. But let's go into that, because they're developing that storyline, and each time we see an episode, the suspect list increases, right? We have Darren, of course, he's being creepy and he's creeping people out. And we have the mom, this new mom, right, that like claims to be her mother. But in the future, that may be somebody that's just looking for a check, right, or attention. And if they don't get their way, they could want to harm Valeria because she's not keeping up with their demands. Also, we have the suspect person of the person who told the young kids to snatch the chain, right? Maybe later on in the future, somebody may get upset that they figured out who they were, and it could be friends, family, people that are associated that are upset that they found out who they were. That could be the suspect as well. We also have the fans. It could be a fan that's upset with Jennifer and changes that she's decided to make. It could be somebody from the church, right, that is just really angry with Jill and a lot of decisions that she's made. It could be a family member of Alexis that they're finding out that, oh my goodness, she's pregnant, and it's of the band member from the Nasty Bees. It's her husband who's deceased. They could be upset about that. It could be Alicia, because Alicia is now making it seem like Jill is her client, right? She's giving her all of these interviews, doing all of this stuff, and may feel that that's her artist, when in actuality that's not her artist. Eric is their manager. So it could be Alicia at the end, that when later Jill decides that she doesn't want Alicia doing anything more for her. You're not my manager. Thank you for everything that you've done, but I don't want to be involved with you anymore. Alicia could be the gunman and saying that, hey, I did all this stuff for you. I got you the attention. I got you the fame, and now you want to leave. So Alicia, to me, is also a potential suspect. And also, don't forget that Eric is in debt. We learned a couple of episodes before that a promoter says, hey, I know that you're renting that house on the hill. You don't have any money. Like, where are you getting the money from? So we also had to think about Eric is in that danger, not only because of the chain snatching. It could be that same person saying, hey, you owe me money and you don't even deserve this chain. And the hashtag, right, of snatching the chains is just a coincidence. And it followed through with that, and it mingled in with that. But we need to know what Eric's debt encloses, and if there's somebody that's after him. We also have the storyline of JoJo's dad, and JoJo getting so close with Eric that she's saying, thank you, Mom, I'm getting close to him. It's the first time that JoJo has heard that JoJo has said those words to Naomi. And we're forgetting that we still have Cam that is still a potential dad. And also it's a possibility that it couldn't be either one of them, right? Naomi did say that she's finally reaching this point of being sober in her life. And at that moment in time, it's really not clear who the father is. She remembers Cam and Eric, but we have that potential of it being Cam, it being Eric, and a mystery person. I can see the story developing, and it's this closeness. JoJo's getting close to Eric. She's developing a bond, but Cam is still a potential person. And Naomi has not expressed that. She's kind of had this really set in stone that he's the dad, that, oh, this is the guy. The relationship would definitely be strained with JoJo and Naomi more than ever before, especially since she's getting close with Eric and it's not 100% certain that he's her father. So the anger between those two is going to just get even more and more in depth of that, and that adding to the suspect list as well. Will the person that thinks they're the father of JoJo rebel and maybe have wanted to harm Naomi? So it's building, and it's a lot of mystery, and I absolutely love it. And each episode gives me more and more clues, but that suspect list just grows and grows with each episode. Now let's talk about Alicia and Jill for a moment. Now Alicia is doing all of this stuff for Jill, and then you have to ask yourself, why is she being so kind? Why is she helping out Jill so much? And she's doing these outside things for Jill, getting into her head. Is it possible that Alicia may be that person that gets jealous and upset that Jill is getting all this attention and have her to backslide and fall off the wagon and get involved with drugs again? It's possible. Let's also talk about Lil Muffin. Lil Muffin's injury is not only a physical disaster, right? She has this wound on her forehead and she's bleeding, and it's right before a photo shoot. Of course that's gonna mess up the photo shoot. Of course that's gonna dampen the future performances that she may have. But this, talk about somebody that's really into their looks, her hair, her nails, constantly being in the mirror, outfits, all this other stuff. And if you have this trauma that's happened on your forehead, on your face, something that everybody sees, I think this is gonna really send her into a deep depression. She got on the wave of being super popular again in the TikTok and because of the jewelry and all this other stuff. And now that this is happening to her face, she's going to trend for the wrong reasons. And unfortunately, hopefully it doesn't send her off the wagon as well. And then thinking, okay, who am I? I don't know if I'm Lil Muffin. I don't know if I'm Lauren. I can't cut it being either person. I was in the grocery store and people didn't even recognize me. They're saying that my music is whack. So she has a lot of things on her plate as well. There's so much going on, and I thought it was super exciting. I also thought that it was really cute to see Eve and the character on there, the rapper Fabio, where they had a little fun and excitement with that. I mean, we can even say that maybe the artist, maybe the guy had a girlfriend or something like that, and then that person found out about Bri and wants to retaliate. It's going to be a shocker. It's going to be a super shocker. And I think that who's JoJo's dad and the situation of the masked shooter will be the crescendo of the entire season. I can make a good guess that we're midway through the season. I'm not sure if it's going to be 10 episodes, 8 episodes, or whatever. So I can make a good guess that usually with series that 10 seems feasible, or 8. So I'm just really excited to see how this evolves. Let me know what you think. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and don't forget to click that notification bell so you don't miss any posts. And also follow me on Instagram at that same profile name, officialbunne_e, so you don't miss sneak peeks of what's coming and also things that are going on in my personal life so you can stay afloat with me. But make sure you leave a comment about if you agree or disagree with some of the viewpoints and guesstimates for the season. Also, check out a lot of those shows that are in the pinned comment. A lot of the things that are linked down below, I recommend that you binge watch and enjoy, but there are several other things within the playlist, and there's a broad spectrum of things that I've gone over and I've recapped and reviewed. I mean, we're going from Star Trek Picard to Wu-Tang and American Saga, to podcasts, to pop culture and political events. Make sure that you check out those things. Also check out Bunny Comedy as well. Some comedic skits that I have. Check out the official Bunny Comedy in the playlist too and get your laugh on. In the meantime, in between time, take care of yourself and each other. I'll see you next time. Bye.